Hello everyone, I'm Sibyl and today is my oral presentation. I will introduce three authors from different um three times the Enlightenment, the Romanticism, and Symbolism. The first one is from the Enlightenment. She is Sarah Jonah. And I will introduce her poetry, You Man. The first reason that I really interested in her because of her identity. So Jonah was a female writer from an upper class family, but became a nun in order to have a safe environment for writing. Yeah, I think she's very brave because she just gave up her identity of upper class, her life, uh, and her identity, yeah, just to point out the double standard between men and women. Yeah, because in her poetry, she just sharply point out the men did wrong issues, but still attributed the fault to women and set up wrong ideas for women, belittle women, and attack women. Yeah. And another reason is that in her poetry, Your Man, she used lots of metaphors, such as cloud the mirror. It implied man's stupidity, selfishness, and self-deceptions. Yeah, in her poems, she was uh, strongly to point out um, these unequal standards, and her poem was full of neoclassic characteristic and strongly expressed feminism. The second time is Romanticism. I will introduce Lord Byron and his poetry standards for music. The Romanticism is an artistic literature and intellectual movement oriented in Europe and reached the peak during the approximate period from 1800 to 1850. The poets belong to Romanticism, a characteristics by emotion and individualism of time and nature. So the first reason I really like this poetry because it strongly connects nature with emotion. The author just used the intention of ocean for many times in this poetry to connect ocean with her in this poem and describe the beauty of her through the characteristic of the ocean. For example, in the first stanzas, the waves lie still and gleaming, the lurid window seems dreaming. It's really to show how sweet, how special of her in this poem, and he used the ocean to strongly express the love, the missing to her in this poem. And another reason is that this poetry use many beautiful rhythm scheme. For example, the first stanza follows A B A B C C C. The second stanza changes slightly and rhyming CD CD B B. A reader might also notice the connection between B rhythms and D rhythm. Both sets rhyming ending make use of long E sound. This makes them have a Latin rhythm, therefore imbuing the point with an even clearer rhythm. Yeah, I when I read this point, I think it's very nice because this rhythm scheme. And the third time is symbolism. Symbolism is a series of unconscious connection that last of which creates an emotion. Yeah, it's also about emotion, but it's different from romanticism. It's the romanticism connects nature and emotion, but in the symbolism, it just use some symbol to express the author's emotion. And its symbolism is a late 19th century art movement in Europe, focused on poetry and other arts against naturalism and realism. Symbolist poets sought to convey individual emotion experience through the subtle, suggestive use of highly metaphorical language. And I want to introduce the author Rimbaud and his um, poetry, The Drunk Boat. Why I'm interested in this point because the author never saw the ocean before he wrote this poem. Yeah, he just moved into a great sense of abstraction and idea of vision, such I dream of going tonight. I saw the low sun stand with mystic horrors. And the poet had never seen this sea before writing the poem. The striking images in this poem was his own imagination. And the second reason is that I think the feelings in this poem are indulgent because there are some positive feelings such as skin rainbows stretch like brittle rings. This is positive feelings, but there are some negative feelings such resembling an island tossing on my side the chorus. If this is well meaning and clearly throughout points, striking not only the um only with the pentamegory of events, but also a wonderful poet form. And in this poem, the poetry of ship with a rounder and sails is a magnificent symbol of the poet. He boldly throws himself into the uh, whirlpool of life. He feels himself indoctrinated by the boundlessness of space and the thirst for wanderings and adventures. He seeks to discover unsolved secrets, unknown lies. However, on this way, he will find many disappointment, and it's I think it's really special because he was just a 16-year-old when he wrote this poem, but he has so many feelings. Yeah, it's very really cool. And that's all. Thanks.